What is up, Minnesota Heat Nation? We are back.
We are back, baby. Despite this cold weather and the snow, we're trekking through those ugly roads and
Yeah,
recording this for you.
we made
How's
it.
everyone doing?
We made it back in action. The high school season is fully underway. So is the college season. So we
Of
are we are going to
course.
catch you up. A couple of quick hits, a couple deep dives here. All things Minnesota Heat for the next few minutes.
Yeah, for sure. It's been an exciting past couple of weeks.
Mhm.
We had the big breakdown event this last weekend, but like Jared mentioned on the college side too, we've had some good things happen.
Mhm.
Um, good performances by Minnesota Heat alumni. So, starting at the Division One level, Sean Sutherland, I believe we spoke about him in our last episode.
Mhm.
He's been on a torrid pace for New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He posted a 2020 in their game against Bryant.
Yeah.
I think that was like a couple of weeks ago. Currently, he leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals,
Yeah.
and that's just unheard of. That's a crazy stat to me.
It is. No, and Sean, like you mentioned, is out in New Hampshire at UNH. Spent the last 2 years at Sheridan College in Wyoming, so kind of found his fit uh, out in New Hampshire at the D1 level. And I mean, clearly, it's funny. I've been joking with people every time people ask about Sean. I say
Yeah.
another one that Patino let leave because he
Yeah.
putting up numbers like that, man. You could that 20 points, 20 rebounds in a single game. I don't care who you're playing, what level you're playing at. Like that's a big time performance.
Yeah, and he actually played on FS1 when they played, I believe it was St. John's
Okay.
earlier this year. So, I mean, he got to do it on national television too. But we're really proud of Sean. We're really happy to see the
Yeah.
success he's having. He's what Minnesota Heat is all
Yeah.
about. As a kid growing up, he wasn't sought after by all these big name programs. He really stuck around with us, develop a good relationship with Willie, develop a good
Mhm.
relationship with Gallagher, and it's nice to see him succeed. So
Yeah.
again, Sean, congratulations on the success you're having on the court. Best of luck the rest of the season, and
Yeah.
go Heat, man.
Yeah. Go
Way to
Heat.
make us
It'll
proud.
it'll be fun, man. Hopefully those guys can go play in the tourney or something. It'll be that'll be fun if they can make a run and watching them out there. So
Yeah, speaking of colleges or college kids, I know pretty soon we'll see these two kids that we're going to talk about next on the college basketball court.
yeah.
So Wasika and Stewartville played, I believe it was last Tuesday,
Mhm.
to start out the season, and so that means Will Tschetter and Andrew Morgan and company
Mhm.
played against one another. So Wasika came out victorious in that matchup,
Yeah.
but the two big guys went at it.
Yeah.
That's,
Cheddar 46 points
yep.
to really kind of lead the way. Just an incredible performance from Will there. I mean, 46 is at the high school level. Unbelievable just stat game from him. Andrew was just right behind him with
Yep.
26, and the W, which I'm sure they would both tell you that matters. I mean, yeah, Morgan and Cheddar, that's number 2 and number 3 in Minnesota's 2021 rankings. Ed Conroy in the building, the
Yep.
Gophers
Exactly.
assistant Ed Conroy was there. Some buzz on social media about those guys and starting the season off like that. Ryan James was out there and people are asking him about, are these guys Big Ten caliber? And RJ gave him the seal of approval. So who knows? I mean, those guys are going to have to find their fit, wherever it is.
Right.
But yeah, both of them certainly have interest at that level, and are going to just make a college basketball coach so happy, wherever they do land.
Yeah, a couple of things about that game. I mean, Will Tschetter, no disrespect to the rest of the team at Stewartville, but if you're creating a game plan against Stewartville, you circle that his number and you
Hmm.
just send all the defense towards him. So for him to put up 46 points
Yeah.
despite facing that kind of defense, that's really
Right.
impressive.
Well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he wasn't going to surprise them either,
No,
right? Like Morgan and Dufault, those guys play with him. They know. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
to drop 46 points against arguably a top three team in Triple A
Yeah.
still, right? Yeah, yeah. So that was impressive. Second thing, when it comes to recruiting, I know the Gophers picked up a lot of steam when they added Trayton Thompson,
Hmm.
a local guy that went to La Lumiere last year.
Yep.
So I'm sure the rest of the state wants for them to keep more in
Totally.
state talent. So outside of Chet Holmgren in that class, these two are the kind of the next big thing.
Yeah.
So be interested to see how that looks, how their recruiting looks this
Mm.
upcoming spring, because their names are definitely hot right now.
They're right there. Awesome, man. Well, next up, also, those guys not the only one making headlines early on. Riley O'Connor, tell us about what he's been doing
For
early
sure,
early this
Riley
season.
O'Connor, Rock, as we call him from Minnetonka, had 16 points at the breakdown against Matamidi over
Hmm.
the weekend. So he recently picked up an offer from Northwestern College in Iowa. I know there are a lot of interest from MIAC schools
Hmm.
as well. So yeah, congratulations on that offer, Riley, and we'd love to see what this season has for you
Yeah.
and what other offers will be coming.
Yeah,
So
that's playing at a school like Tonka and getting minutes and putting up numbers there. He's going to be, night in night out playing against the
right.
top talent. He's going to be getting some really good reps. So best of luck to Riley. Congrats on the offer and another guy. It'll be fun to keep tabs on. So you mentioned him that game against Matamidi in
Yep.
the breakdown tip off classic. 15 Minnesota Heat players playing there.
Well
Yeah,
represented.
well represented. So who are some of the guys that that you kind of had your eye on?
Yeah, so why don't we start with the last two games, like
Yep.
the prime time games, as they would say. So Park Center and East Ridge, as everyone know, we have Josh Brown playing in that game for
Hmm.
Park Center. So Park Center came up on the short end. Ben Carlson was just unreal,
Yeah.
dropping 40 points against Park Center's team. But Josh Brown represented the Heat in that game. In the matchup after that, the showcase game, the
Yeah.
Minnehaha Cretan Durham Mall game. Adam Tower, or sorry, Jack Tower,
Jack Tower. Yep.
Jack
Yep.
Tower. I'm sorry, Jack Tower saw 17 minutes, and he was
Yeah.
actually on the floor to round out that
Yeah.
game. So, again, we hype up this Heat Tower team that's going to play in the spring, and deservingly so.
Yeah.
Their guys are playing in front of big crowds and actually producing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Jack Tower was in that game. Spring Lake Park, North St. Paul featured four Minnesota Heat kids.
Yep.
We had Jacob Say from Heat Presby, Dador that played for Heat Vang, Heat
Hmm.
Nord. We also had Caleb Skelly who played for Heat Johnson last year, and new addition to Heat McDonald, Nick Ojal,
Yep.
all played in that game. Cambridge and Apollo had Michael Ladd
Yep.
playing that game as well. So Michael Ladd played for Heat Vang this past spring. Tonka Matamida featured two kids. Like I had mentioned, we had Riley O'Connor that played for Heat Presby last spring. We also had JT Gaffney, who that
Hmm.
game had 19 points
Awesome.
with
Yeah.
5 threes. He played for Heat Diamond. So yeah, Heat players all around. It's nice to see our Heat guys performing, their teams being invited to this exclusive event.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time.
It is like this time of year is so exciting. You put it up there with state tournament time. You put it up
Right.
there the Comets invite when you just get to see like new matchups, new faces. I mean, even at the college level, it's really fun keeping tabs on kids who are just in a new environment, and you get to see
Right.
what they're going to do, like whatever program they're at, whatever fit that they're in. Just being able to like play for. Just a new environment in a new role. So kids who maybe were coming off the bench are now starting, or kids
Right.
who were on JV are now in varsity roles. So, yeah, congrats to all the guys just going and making a name for themselves early on. It's a ton of fun and a really good way to start things off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking on a personal level, I know like with Riley O'Connor last year when he played for Minnetonka during the winter time, I think he was like the fourth or the fifth option on the team. And
Yeah,
when he came on with our team in the spring, we relied on him a lot for our offense. So to see that transformation from last winter to last spring, and then now actually carrying that over
yeah,
to his Minnetonka season, that's that's a confirmation of all the work he has done
certainly.
since last year. So again, yeah, this is a wonderful time. This is a great time.
Hmm.
Breakdown ran an event the weekend prior, but with weather, it didn't generate as much buzz. So I
Yeah,
think this was a good time to have that the follow up event.
certainly.
It was the atmosphere was electric. It was
Yeah,
crazy. All the who's in Minnesota grassroots hoops community was there. Overtime was there, obviously following Chet and Jalen,
yeah.
Baller TV. I mean, everyone was there, so it was a well put event by the breakdown team.
Yeah, certainly. And last shout out here early on, Heat alumni Jared Martinson getting in the podcast game.
Of course,
Welcome to the crew, Jared. So be sure to throw him a follow. Is it the Minnesota Basketball Podcast?
Minnesota basketball podcast. Yep.
So yeah, Jared. I know he had Czar on early, doing some preview stuff of that first event. So A must follow. Anyone who follows Jared on Twitter at JaredNHR does phenomenal stuff. Posts on PrepHoops.com all the time. So, yeah, welcome to the game,
Yeah,
Jared. It's good to have you. We'll have to collab here one of these days.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, Jared. I know you'll do great things with that. Uh, been following you on Twitter, so
Yeah,
I know you're very well versed on your basketball stuff here. So
certainly.
keep doing what you're doing.
Certainly. Well, we can let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go into a little bit of a deep dive, Prez. I'm curious. So every year around this time, you start to see stuff pushed out on email and social media
Yep.
with about Minnesota Heat Christmas. Take
Yes.
us through what is Minnesota Heat Christmas, and what's it all about? How did it start? What like how could people get involved if they want to get involved?
So yeah, Minnesota Heat Christmas. I think we're on our sixth year of existence. So, really, it started 6 years ago when Willie thought it'd be a good idea to, being a nonprofit, part of our agreement is like we have to have some sort of civil service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, we thought this is like the best way to give back to the community is, we take kids who come from financially challenged backgrounds and treat them to a unique Christmas experience,
Mm.
where otherwise they wouldn't have. So we select 8 to 10 kids to bring to a nice dinner. We've kind of progressed through the years. We started taking them to Dickie's Barbecue,
Yeah.
moved on to Osaka,
Yeah.
where they get the whole hibachi experience. And then last year we took them to Buca de Beppo. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we take them to a nice dinner. And then after that, we take them shopping. We go to the outlet mall. Kids always love going to Nike, buy a new pair of basketball shoes or buy some nice gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we did. It's been a fun event. Like Gally is typically a part of it. He usually comes around as a chaperone and to drive kids around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to see the joy in kids' faces
Mm.
throughout the night. This is really an event for we don't talk basketball during this event. Like
Yeah.
this is us connecting with the kids on a more personal level.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love that.
we love this event. I know Eli
Yeah.
attended it last year,
Hmm.
and we enjoy it. We enjoy it.
That's awesome, man. No, and just another plug. If you want to get involved, listeners, donations are accepted, and money's put aside for this so that the Heat is able to do this year after year.
Yep.
But if you want to get involved, donation links are available. We'll have an email going out this week and on social media as well. Share that too. I mean, it's a great way. Like year-end giving is a really cool thing when the holiday season you're able to give back. And these are kids who are good kids and they're
Right.
they're vetted. I guess like these are kids who show up. They're good kids. They just may come from a little bit of like a tough situation, and so this is a way that through the game of basketball we're able to just provide them with an experience and a night out, and yeah, you talk about the joy a little bit, and that's one thing actually my college basketball experience. My coach used to always say like, yeah, there's more to life than basketball, but there's
Mm,
also more to basketball than basketball,
I
meaning
agree.
like this isn't just about the X's and O's. This is about the relationships. This is about the lives. This is about the friendships. This is about the lessons you can learn. What better example than Minnesota Heat Christmas? Like, this grassroots basketball organization is able to affect lives, even for just an evening. But at that evening, relationships are formed, and like that can extend beyond just that one single instance. So. Props to Willie, props to the Heat. That's a really really cool initiative, and I would just encourage listeners, um, no donation is too small.
Exactly.
Go kick it in. That's a really cool thing you can do. So at Minnesota Heat on Twitter, and
Um,
if you want, get on that email list and we can get you that donation link as well.
And I will definitely say that we have been fortunate enough that we have such a strong, tight-knit basketball community here because it's
Totally.
not just Heat families that are making donations. It's
Yeah.
guys from the Comets, it's guys from the Fury, guys from Select making donations. So again, thanks to everyone for the support you've given us the last couple of years, especially around this time of the year because without the donations, this event would not be possible.
Yeah.
And outside of the guys that we take out to dinner that night for the event, last year I know we provided some financial assistance to local basketball teams
Yeah.
for their jerseys, or kids that don't have the means to buy new basketball shoes.
Right.
So it's the money that we collect for this event is not just for the dinner, for the shopping spree, but it's also for other local basketball teams,
Totally.
local programs. So again, like Jared said, no donations too small. If you have questions, follow MinnesotaHeat.net. There are instructions there on how to make donations. Otherwise, feel free to shoot Willie and I an email
Yeah.
regarding it. So,
Totally. So last thing before we talk about kind of moving forward, high school season has just gotten started. Prez,
hmm
you've coached many AAU teams. You've been in the high school world coaching. Um, Say a player approaches you from your team or any team, and they may not be happy with their current role. The dust has kind of settled here, maybe early in the season. You may find yourself on the C squad, or you may find yourself on the B team,
right.
or just maybe not the role that you envisioned for yourself. Maybe you're coming off the bench, you thought you were going to start. What advice would you give to a player? What would you say? I mean, yeah, it is early. Like, what would you say? As someone who is really invested in the spring, is there any kind of words of wisdom?
Yeah, this sounds so cliche, but like every opportunity is a learning experience,
Mm.
right? So that's the advice I would give to the players out there who are struggling with their current roles right now. And for us coaches, I know I can speak for guys like Willie, speak for like Bowie's and Jared's of the world that
Mm.
more. It's not just the basketball skills we care about here, but it's the character of the player. How do they handle adversity?
Yeah.
Right? Are they one to just fold over when faced with this, or will they fight? Will they make the most out of it? So, I've experienced this in the past. I've had players who, thought they should have been the main guys on their JV team. Instead, that's the seventh or the eighth guy. The successful ones found ways to make the most of it, to
Yeah.
learn from it. But the ones that struggled are the ones that kept complaining about it,
Right.
right? That shifted the blame on someone else. So, yeah, my biggest advice is take this as a learning experience,
Hmm.
man. Like you touched on it earlier. Basketball is not just basketball. It's a great tool for us to learn new
Yeah.
things. Um, yeah. What about you, Jared? What advice would you give players?
I mean, just control the controllables. Like, attitude and effort are the only two things you can ever control. And whether you're playing a lot, you're playing not at all, you are on the team you want to be on, or maybe not. Like, the only things that are in your control, are your attitude and your effort. How hard are you going to play? How hard are you going to work? How are you going to like view that situation? Just being able to, and feelings are a real thing. Like, you can
Right.
feel sad, you can feel bummed about stuff, but like, just not letting that affect your attitude and how you show up every day to work. Yeah, it's a tough deal, but like you said, just as a learning experience, going through the adversity like that, will only equip you, moving forward to face tough stuff and to get better from it. So no, I think that's really good words of wisdom, because it's fun. Like, we're able to talk about the all the successes we listed early on of all the kids who are getting big minutes and having a ton of success, which is awesome, and we're so pumped about those. But we
Right.
understand that there's a lot of kids who put on Heat jerseys, who put on any jerseys, who are, the start of the season may not be going as they hoped. So yeah, I mean, we're with you guys as well. Get in the gym, keep working on your game, and we're yeah, go Heat in the spring. We'll can continue to find opportunities to get better. So
There's plenty of season left. I'll say that to all of our kids that are listening. Plenty of season left, so a
yeah,
lot can change, right? So it's really up to you how the rest of the season is gonna go. So,
certainly. Certainly,
um,
man. Well, speaking of the rest of the season, what do we got next? What's up next on the Heat calendar here?
yeah, so we actually just went through a bunch of camps. We ran one on the west side the day before Thanksgiving, the hoops before the feast. That saw a lot of success. So we're continuing on with our camp season. We have a couple coming up, December
Hmm.
27th, 28th. We have our boys camp, which will be held at Fridley High School, and we also have our girls camp, which will be at Chippewa Middle School, same time frame, December 27th and 28th.
Yeah.
For info on those, please check our website, minnesotaheat.net. Go under events page, click tournaments, and it will list the all the different camp offerings that we have. Jared will also be sending out an email blast for
Yeah.
those. So for information, how to register and all that fun stuff, that will be coming out soon. After those two camps, we also have the shooting camp, which will be on December 30th. Same thing. More details on that can be found on our website under our tournaments, or sorry, under our camps page. Um, that'll be at Fridley High School, December 30th. So yeah,
Exciting
a lot
time.
of good stuff. A lot of good events for players to stay active during the winter break, hone their skills a little bit more, in preparation for kind of the end of winter
Yeah,
and high school season. So
man. I was just talking to some guys here. Like when that calendar turns over to January, it's
yeah,
like you start thinking spring already, and we're already mid-December. So
I
it's fun
know.
stuff.
Yeah, January. Once we hit January, I know a lot of teams start to shift focus on like that state tournament.
Yeah.
So I know this is just like in the NBA, how everyone says the season doesn't really start until after Christmas. Similarly with high school and travel basketball,
Yeah.
the season doesn't really start until that new year when teams are starting to prepare for the state tournament. So for
Mm.
players, if you want to help your team, sign up for some of these camps,
That
hone
is
your skills.
so crucial. I mean, school takes off a couple weeks. A lot of teams will take off, 4, 5, 6 days to stay in the gym. Like,
Right.
do not let that be a step back. Like, go eat a bunch of prime rib and eat a bunch of, pie at Christmas, but you got to get back in the gym. Like, do not let that take a step back conditioning wise, skill wise. So,
I agree.
word to the wise.
Good. Well, this has been this has been another great episode of the Heatcast. Thanks to everyone for the continued support, for listening to us on Spotify,
Hmm.
Apple Podcast, on YouTube as well. So big shout out to Matt Gallagher for always producing a top-notch product. So, Jared, why don't you take us out?
This is it for Josh Presby. My name is Jared Nelson. For Matt Gallagher, got to shout him out as
Of
well.
course.
This is the Heatcast. Thanks for listening.